welcome to the Northern Counties East League podcast. I'm Richard Watts. I'm now joined by League General Manager Matt Jones.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Northern Counties East League podcast. Last Saturday, on Friday as well, saw the opening weekend of our league season. And first comment I'd like to make, what fantastic crowds we saw again. Total of 4,465 people attended games on Friday and Saturday. And I think one of the things I found most interesting was that we had 4 games on Friday where the average crowd was 387, and that's more than double the average crowd we got on Saturday, which was 172. There's more and more teams requesting to play on a Friday, and it seems to be a really popular option with supporters as well. So I'll be interested if anybody's got any feedback as whether Friday's better than Saturday, what you like about Fridays, that kind of thing, if you could let us know, because it seems to be going more and more that way. In the Premier Division, 2 of the, I suppose what people would class as the early season, the promotion favourites, suffered quite convincing defeats on Friday night. Penistone Church went to Golke United and lost 4-1, not helped by having the goalkeeper sent off. And Campion went up to Silverton and lost 3-0. So that's not the starts those 2 teams were predicted to make. So a great start for Pickering Town. Again, a team that not many people are fancying this season. Went 2-0 down at Frickley and came back to win 4-2. Frickley's never an easy ground to go to. So that's a great start for Pickering. Well done to them. Handsworth went to Winterton. Winterton just come back down from the Northern Premier League after a year away. Expected to do quite well. Handsworth recorded an excellent 2-0 win up there. The 2 promoted sides from our Division 1 had different fortunes. Parkgate won 3-0 at home to Goole, while Beverley went up to Thackley and suffered a 2-1 defeat. The other thing I found interesting, there were 2 0-0 games, one between Barton and Albion, which we were at, me and you, Richard. Not a bad game, some decent football played. I've seen a lot worse 0-0s. And the other one was between Knaresborough Town and Hallam. The only 2 0-0 games in the division, and they both had exactly the same crowd of 162, which I don't know what the odds on that would be, but it's quite a strange occurrence. In Division 1, Horbury got off to a flyer on Friday night, beating their neighbours Nostell 4-0. And I've also picked out a great performance by Yorkshire Amateur. Went to Louth, a long journey for them, first game of the season, and recorded a 3-1 win, with Noel and Fonke scoring 1 goal and assisting the other 2, a real man of the match performance from him. New sides had varying results. We saw wins for Appleby Frodingham, playing their first Northern Counties East League game for 14 years. Wins for Clubthorne Colliery and Ilkley Town. Dagenham District and Shelley got off to a decent start, creditable draws. I think something of a surprise was South Leeds, who went to Dronfield. South Leeds expected to be quite strong this year and suffered a 4-1 defeat, so they'll be looking to bounce back from that this midweek.
I'm now joined by Phil Withers, who's looking at an NCEL season from the past.
Hello. We continue our review of the history of the Northern Counties East League by looking at the NCEL's 6th season, 1987-88. The league retained its 3 divisions from the previous year: Premier, Division 1 and Division 2. The Premier Division consisted of 12 of the previous season's clubs, plus promoted Grimethorpe Miners Welfare, Hallam, Harrogate Railway Athletic, Hatfield Main and Dorset Albion. Emley were the Premier Division champions on goal difference from runners-up Quasi Celtic. Dorset Albion finished bottom. However, there was no promotion or relegation at the end of the season. Division 1 was comprised of 13 teams from the previous season's Division 1, plus Ecclesall United, Freshfield Community and Birmingham Town, who were promoted from Division 2. The division was won by York Railway Institute, who were 3 points ahead of runners-up Rowntree Mackintosh, also the previous season's runners-up. No teams were promoted. However, Staveley Works transferred to the Central Midlands League, and bottom club Dronfield United were relegated to Division 2. Division 2 featured 15 of the previous season's clubs. There were no new ones. Pickering Town took the title, 3 points ahead of runners-up Collingham. Both sides were promoted. Tadcaster and Albion finished bottom, but were not relegated. However, One Wales Sporting Association transferred to the Central Midlands League. The League Cup was an all Division 1 affair, with York Railway Institute completing a League and Cup double by defeating Rowntree Mackintosh 2-1 at Bootham Crescent, York. The Premier Division top scorer was Darren France of Bridlington Trinity with 21 goals. In Division 1, Jay Verity of Rowntree Mackintosh led the way with 34. D.R. Ledbetter of Ossett Town topped Division 2 with 28. In the National Cups, Emley became the first NCEL club to reach the FA Vase final, but lost 1-0 to Cone Dynamos. Brigtown reached the fourth qualifying round of the FA Cup, where they lost 4-1 to Lincoln City.
Next up, NCEL talk. I'll hand straight over to host Aaron Walton.
Right. Evening, everybody. We've got the full squad with us tonight. We've got Adam, we've got Bob, and we've got Si. So, evening, everybody.
Evening, everyone.
So, what we're going to do, I think what we'll look at tonight is we'll look at the sort of opening weekend of fixtures. We'll go over any sort of midweek games. And what I want to have a look at is Friday night games, good or bad, positive or negative. That's what I want to look at as well, because there's some good reading on that. So first of all, let's have a look at the games. Now, if we'll start off with the Prem. So we'll start off with you, Bob, and get it out of the way first. You went to Parkgate, 3-0 you lost, but what was the game? What was it like?
It was a good game. We played well. We had a good first half. But their keeper, Jordan Greaves, he was exceptional. We had plenty of chances. We couldn't stick the ball in the net, but he come off with some great saves.
Yeah.
It was 0-0 at half time, and but second half they got an early goal about 50th minute, and they added two more in the 78th and 79th minute. But what tells you the tail of the tape, I suppose, is that the Parkgate officials made the man of the match their keeper. So that tells you.
Well, that tells you everything you need to know, Bob, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah, it does. And but it was a good game. Parkgate, it's a lovely playing surface, and I didn't realise Rotherham United training ground is next door to it as well.
Yeah, I'm sure the Rotherham United ground staff may look after that pitch for them.
Yeah, they might do. Yeah, they might do. Yeah. But what was just a quick one? At half time, Keith Hackett was there. He's the president of the league, and we had a chat with Keith. He used to be the Premier League, First Division referee them days.
He did, yes, yeah.
So, and I think he was impressed with goals. So that was at half time. That's what it was 0-0. I didn't speak to him afterwards.
Well, give him a wide berth. So that was cool. Now, Adam, did you go watch Rossington?
Not on the Saturday, but on our Rovers on the Saturday. But on the Friday, I went to Golka versus Penistone.
Yes, you did, didn't you?
Yeah, that were an interesting game. It was a good one, to be fair. Obviously, Golka won 4-1. It were a weird one. It kind of started off pretty even, and then once Golka got their goal, they kind of had more of a momentum. But about 5 minutes before half time, we were an off the ball incident. I think the keepers kicked out of one of Pennistone's players in box. Ref missed it, the linesman saw it, the Golka bench all saw it as well. They went pretty mad. And the linesman had a word with him, sent the keeper off, and gave Golka a penalty. So
all right.
Made it 2-0 at half time.
Yeah. You missed it, didn't you? On your video, you missed it. The incident.
I missed the instant, yeah. It was kind of one of them. I think it were only those who were down there kind of saw it because, like I say, the ref missed it. Most of the players missed it.
Yeah.
But the linesman didn't, and it changed the game, to be fair, because it was always going to be hard for Penistone to get back into it. But did score just after half time, but it was kind of goal, like, you could tell they had an extra man because they were just dominating, and then they got two more goals in the second half, and it finished 4-1.
So 4-1. And there was a good crowd there, wasn't there? That's because we're going to get onto that later on. There was a good
Yeah,
crowd there.
434.
Yeah, I know Golka are really well supported. They really do get behind the team at Golka, which is really good to see. I mean, if all non-league teams had a crowd like Golka, would be quids in, wouldn't we?
Last point on Golka as well. They've probably got the best dog in non-league as well. I don't know if you've seen it. It's got he wears a Golka scarf. It's quite an old one. It's
all right.
Best dog in non-league.
So that was your Friday night. So you saw Golka. Now Eccleshill and Rossington, they drew 2-2.
Yep.
Good start for Eccleshill. Good start for Rossington, really, because last year Rossington had a bit of a. Well, it was 5-3. What is it? 5-3 or 4-3 to Barton Town at Rossington. But Rossington kicked on after that, and Barton didn't seem to kick on. Frickley and Pickering. Well, I've wrote Pickering off, and look what they've gone and done. They've gone and won 4-2 away from home. So what do I know?
Yeah, exactly.
Well done, Pickering. Knaresborough and Allen, they drew 0-0. Tadcaster got a good 3-0 win at home to Bottisford. And Thackley beat Beverley 2-1 at Thackley, so that was good. And I'm getting to Barton Town. Well, they had a good draw. It was for a 0-0. It was a good game. They all played well. Either team could have won. I think a draw is a fair result. And as they were coming off the pitch, I was clapping them in, and our captain said, "That's for you. That is because you righted us off." So I'm not writing you off, Barton Town. I'm always behind you. So it was a real good start, and they played really well. Completely different to how they played pre-season. So much better. So well done, Barton. And Silsden on Friday night, didn't they? They got a good result against Campion, 3-0. So that's a good start to Silsden's campaign.
Another good crowd as well. 385.
385.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real good crowd. Now, let's get on to Division 1. And Si's been waiting in the wings. So you played Club Thorn, didn't you, Si?
I'm sorry, Aaron. The number you've called's not available. Yes. I always hate it when I have to come on after we've lost a match.
I know. Well, think of me. Think of me every time we lose. Right. Yeah.
But yeah, we went to Club Thorn, obviously newly promoted to the division. Bit of a disappointing result for us. We lost 3-1 there. Game, I think by a lot of aspects swung on 2 penalties. We got a penalty towards the end of the first half, which was missed, unfortunately, which would have put us 2-0 up at half time. And I think it would have been a different discussion, but for both teams. They came out a lot better at the start of the second, a bit more fired up, put us under pressure. And then we conceded a penalty soon into the second half. They got a break through on goal, and our left back took their player down, unfortunately. So got the red card and the penalty. So we were down to 10 men. They equalised with that penalty. And it put wind in their sails as much as it took it out of ours, unfortunately, I think. And we were up against it from there. We had a chance that was cleared off the line that could have made it 2-1. But then after that, they scored 2 quick-fire goals in the last 10 minutes, or just over 10 minutes to go, and put it to bed. But yeah, they're a good organised side. It'd be interesting to see how they get on this season. I always like going to new grounds, seeing new people and stuff. And I say it's one of the friendliest ones I've gone to in the league. All the volunteers, all the fans you saw there, no animosity, all good-natured and welcoming. And although we lost on the day, we had 2 winners because I won the raffle, which was a bottle of wine. And one of our other fans won the football card, 15 quid as well. So we didn't get the 3 points, but we did get 2 prizes.
Brilliant, well done, and a big thumbs up to Club Thorn for being such a welcoming club. So well done, Club Thorn.
Good start for them in the league, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. So if we run down them, Armthorpe lost 3-2 to the other new boys, Appleby Frodingham, didn't they? Brig, who I've tipped for great things, they come unstuck against Wombwell 2-0 at the Hawthorns.
Good team though, Wombwell. So
yes, they are. Yeah.
I know it's a defeat for Brig that we tipped, but also a very good team at Wombwell, I think.
Yeah, I'm not reading too much into that for Brig. Dernan District 1, Swallow Nest 1. So Swallownest struggled, didn't they, last season? But that's a good start for Swallownest against the new boys. Who else we got? Dronfield 4-1 against South Leeds. Dronfield are always there or thereabouts, aren't they? So they're showing their class to beat South Leeds 4-1. Glasshountain 0, Shelley 0. Good start for both teams. Harrogate Railway put Selby to the sword 3-0. So a good start for the Rail. Ilkley 2, Maltby 0. I thought Maltby would have wanted a good start. They just stuttered a little bit against Ilkley. Well, that's sort of unknown territory, really, isn't it? Because Ilkley are new boys. So I'll be interested to see how Maltby go this season.
Maltby's not being able to play at home because they're having the pitch done, aren't they? I was reading on now. Yeah, they're having some work done on the pitch, so I don't think it's ready till the end of August for Maltby. So.
All right. Well, that pitch, that pitch. No disrespect to Maltby and all the people involved in Maltby, because I love going there. That pitch did need a little bit of attention.
Yeah, so it would be. I reckon it'll be a lot better when they're finished.
And that's somebody calling somebody else's pitch, whose pitch is usually underwater. So my apologies to everybody. And lastly, Louth. Well, Yorkshire Amateurs, what a great win for them away at Louth, 3-1. Well done, Yorkshire Amateurs. So that's a good start. So midweek games, gentlemen. Did we see any midweek games?
Yep, I was at Appleby Frodingham versus Louth.
You certainly was. I was coming to that. Yeah, a bit feisty, wasn't it, Adam?
Yeah. So kind of after right at the end of the game. So it were first half were pretty even, to be fair. There were kind of a lot of back and forth, but not really any chances. But Appleby, like I say, they went ahead. They looked all right going forwards, but apart from that, not too great. I thought Louth were a better team overall. And they played a lot better in second half. And I think 7 minutes from time they got the winner. And then it was a bit feisty at the end. The Appleby player kind of went in for a tackle. It was quite a nasty one, a bit high. Chirped the player, and then one of their players as well boot the ball right at the player who were down. So originally I weren't too sure which of them got the red card, because they both could have easily. And then that just caused a bit of a scuffle, but it, like I say, one of the ref just stood back, let it happen, and then
that's what refs do. Don't they? Stand back. Let's have a look who instigates it. Let's have a look who, and we'll sort it out. So that was Louth's first points, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah. Both won a game each now.
Yeah. So anybody else? Did anybody else see any more games? Brig beat Worsborough, didn't they? Away. So that's Brig starting. Harrison Coley. Harrison Coley scoring. So well done, Harrison, to get off the mark.
And Club Thorn Club Thorn got a good draw, didn't it? Is it at Selby?
Yes, it was, wasn't it? Yeah. Did Horbury win? Horbury played Friday night. I forgot. Sorry. Division 1. Horbury won 4-0, didn't they? Was it against Nostell?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, local derby, that wasn't it?
It is, yeah. The two sort of non-Wakefield AFC Wakefield teams. They're both in the Wakefield postcode, I think. So good win for them. They've started off with 2 wins, and how many times last season did I say if they'd have got a good start, they'd have been up there challenging, and they've taken 6 from 6 to start off the season.
So the list is
seasons for anyone are not lost on the first day or won on the first day, but a solid start is what you need, and they've certainly had that.
They have, haven't they? Yeah, and Athersley played on Friday night.
Yeah. And Horbury had a good crowd that night, 308.
Yeah. Well, that's what I want to get onto, gents. I want to get onto your thoughts about Friday night football over Saturday afternoon football. What do we think? Do we think it's a winner?
Well, it has been in the past. I remember last season we played Barton Town. I think the crowd of over 400 and something on a Friday night. We all seem to get a good game because, you see, on a Saturday, teams that will follow Leeds or Hull, they'll be watching them teams, but so give them an opportunity, like any non-league club, where these league supporters follow their league teams, but they can come and watch a non-league on a Friday. So, yeah, and especially when the weather's quite nice. It's even because we played you early doors last season at home, and it was a good game that night. Unfortunately, we lost, but we won't talk about that.
No. But they're usually good games, aren't they, Bob? So what about So Si and Adam, what do you think? Si, what do you think about Friday night football? Do you think it's a winner or?
Yeah, I think there's pros and cons for it. I think the pros are obviously the fact, like Bob says, you do get fans that don't go sometimes to Saturday games if their local team's got a home game. If that local big team is away, you tend to find that your own Saturday games are quite well populated because they don't have a lot of travelling fans for that one. But yeah, we've had games where our crowd's gone down at home because like Leeds, Barnsley, or whatever else is local has been playing and sort of taken away from that. I always think as well you get a better atmosphere with the floodlights. We've always really enjoyed playing the floodlight games, be it on a Tuesday or the occasional one on a Friday. I think as long as it's not, I think it has its novelty value. Perhaps is maybe the wrong word, but as long as it's not too regular, I think it's a great, it's a good thing. I think if they move too many fixtures to Friday nights, it became a bit samey, then it might not have the same appeal. But I think if you have say 2 or 3 a season, I think they become great events, and then you can make them into proper money spinners. Because you can promote that as a Friday night football game. And especially at this level where every person that you get through that door makes a difference to your crowd. And you, as you saw from the Friday night games we had last week, all the attendances were over 300.
I think what was the I don't know what the average
was the
is.
lowest.
Yeah, so
you're averaging 350 to 380, I reckon. Looking at that,
I think those 4 attendances on Friday night were the highest attendances of any Saturday game. When I looked, so that tells you the tip, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah. What about you, Adam? What do you think about that? Because I know you follow Doncaster Rovers, don't you, as well? So, how do you feel about Friday games?
Yeah, so I'll be completely honestly, from a bit of a selfish point of view, it's perfect for me because, like I say, I follow Doncaster Rovers home and away. So very rarely, unless like a match is cancelled for international or something like that, I get to watch any non-league on a Saturday. Like this Friday, when I went to Galka, for example, we had a friendly against Middlesbrough on the Saturday, so I wouldn't have been able to go to an opening weekend match if it weren't for that. I agree with Si as well, though. I think it's good to do it, but not to overkill it in a way, because at the same time, it's like if you go in every week and every game's going to be on a Friday, it's not the same. But I think maybe for like when you've got like a big derby or something like that, so like when you've got your local teams and like fans who usually got to watch, like I say, your football league, your Premier League team, stuff like that. They'll be free and stuff like that, so they can come down to like Wakefield, Scott Horbury, or Nostell or something like that. Put it on a Friday night, you'll get some really good crowds. And like I say, it's if you like kind of like do it for big games, I think it's going to be a big benefit, and it's a big benefit anyway because I mean the crowds speak for themselves. I just think it's important for like those who go every week. I wouldn't do it. That's why I wouldn't do it every Friday, because it's kind of, I know from with Rovers, when we change the game to a Friday night, it's kind of a different experience because you're going straight from work. There's not really any pre-match routine as such. Whereas on a Saturday, you're getting up, it's a football day, and you've got your pre-match routine. So I think it's good. I think maybe like once every 4 games or something like that. Just for something a bit different, to get some new faces down, like they play under the floodlights. And selfishly, it'd be perfect because I can go to some Friday night games. So it's got its pros and cons, but as long as it's not overkill, I think it's a really good idea myself.
I think the league has a rule where you can only play so many games on a Friday in the season. So I'm not sure how many it is, but I do think I have heard that.
I think they would flex that though if there was enough appeal. Looking at those numbers, and you see what benefit those 4 clubs that played last Friday are going to get for probably having, I don't know, maybe double the crowd that they might have had on a Saturday, maybe in some cases. It's such a big earner for them that at some point the clubs will then say to the league at one of the meetings, this is a real good thing for us. And like myself and Adam said, like, don't overkill it. But if we do one of those a month, once every couple of months, it's a big earner for us. And that's good for the league as well, because the one thing the league really is going to want is financial security for the teams that it's got in it.
Yeah, it's
So
good for everybody.
It's a double winner.
Something I'd be interested to see is what do the players think of this? Because I think it's got pros and cons for them as well. Because if you're playing on a Friday, you've got your whole weekend free. But also, like if you're working, you've got to finish work on a Friday, get straight for football. Whereas on a Saturday, it's probably easier. So I'd be interested. But like I say, if you play on a Friday, you've got your whole weekend free with your family and stuff like that. So I'd be interested to see, like, from players' point of views, what their opinion is on the Friday night games.
Yeah, definitely. I know most footballers I know would probably go watch a game on Saturday. But I think, I'm a bit of a traditionalist. I do like my Saturday afternoons at my football in the winter. However, like you guys have all intimated, you can't beat a game under the lights, can you?
No,
it's just really good.
I think there is an aspect there that you've pointed out as well, though. When you say winter, I don't think they have as much gate and probably appeal when it comes to December, January.
Absolutely.
Because of the nighttime games, your temperatures have dropped. And I've gone to games where you've got like a quarter of the gate from what you expected because it's 1 degree out and you're freezing cold. Whereas if it was played on the Saturday afternoon, you might have a little bit of sunshine and it's a bit warmer. So maybe there is also a early season, late season aspect to it, which would need to be considered. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, so you could have maybe a couple early season and a couple towards the end of the season. I think that's good, especially if it bolsters clubs' finances and gates. I mean, and you want people to come down and watch the football. You want to get as many people involved watching non-league football, because if you get 10 more people coming down, let's say, maybe if you could get two or three of them to stick around and keep coming, it grows steadily, because it's a great thing, non-league football. I know you get the odd bad game. I've always said that, but you get the incredibly good games as well. And like you've said before, Si, how many games can you go to in a professional where you can get so close to the players, and like you get your photographs taken with them, you have a chat with them at the bar afterwards, that type of thing. You get, we're not hero worshipping these guys, but it just makes it, and especially for the kids, it makes it even better for the kids, because they're growing. A lot of kids are growing up, and I've seen it so many times that they think like semi-pro professional football is just on the TV. No, it's not. It's in your town. Get down and watch it.
And doing that also, I think the players appreciate it more as well, because they're then getting that close contact that really makes the players feel part of the club's community. So if you're playing at a pro level, you're just playing. You might be playing for a big club, and you're getting paid very well for it, but you don't have that same connection with the fans that I think you get as a non-league player. That connection goes both ways.
Yeah, definitely, and also the banter you get from the crowd to the players and players to the crowd as well. I mean, there's nothing like it, is there? So I've never seen so many semi-pro footballers with such quick wit. They're so good at it, really good. That's why I never say anything, because they always just shut me up. So we're in agreement then that there's pros and cons for Friday night football, aren't we? So I think we've come up with a real good idea in relation to, nobody listened to us, but we've come up with a good idea that it looks good, and it probably work, like you've said, guys, sort of early season and late in the season.
Yeah, when the weather's better.
Yeah. It's all to do with the weather, isn't it? So
and also, if they did Friday night football with an international weekend, so if England are playing on the Saturday, playing on Friday, because people won't be staying at home on a Saturday to watch England come and watch the non-league team,
Yeah. Well, that's another thing you've thrown in there, Bob. So that's even that's to be taken into consideration as well. So I think we've covered the Friday night football. I think we've covered that well, and I think we've come up with some ideas. I know nobody listens to us, but we've come up with some ideas, and we're happy with that. So let's move on now. This Saturday for the Premiership clubs, it's the start of the FA Cup. Now, when people ask me, "Oh, what are you doing at the weekend?" I said, "Well, I'm going to go watch the FA Cup." Well, they're so surprised it starts actually in August. They think it all starts probably late December in round 3 or in January. But very surprised that it starts so early. So it's the extra preliminary round, isn't it? So there's some tasty. I know, Bob, you've got brilliant tie, really good tie at the Sun Hatch Stadium at Lincoln, haven't you?
We have, yeah.
Lincoln United.
Yes, they're playing the United Counties, the same level as us, the United Counties Premier. They've won one and lost one. I've been watching the results. They won away on Saturday, but lost at home on Tuesday. But the crowd, they had a good crowd of 311, so it seems they're well supported.
Yeah,
and we're taking a busload of supporters and players on the Saturday, which is good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
well, you'll enjoy it, Bob. It's a nice ground. It's one of the few grounds that's virtually covered, virtually all the way around. There's only one end that hasn't got much covering.
Yeah, and what's good for all teams at this stage, the prize money is worth it. I mean, if whoever wins on Saturday, it's worth £1,250 to the winners, about 350 for the losers. So it's a big prize. And if we do get through, the next round's already been drawn. We know we're at home in the next round, so that's a prize to play for.
There's a sort of an enticer for the team. Incentive, yeah. So we've got. I've just picked a few ties out. Hucknall Town and Bottisford. Well, Bottisford have got a chance there. They're away at Hucknall, but that's a good tie for them. Rossington and AFC Mansfield. That looks a good tie, Adam.
Yeah, that should be a good one. AFC Vale United Counties as well. So I'm confident Rosso can do it, but won't be easy.
No, it won't be easy. Have we all been to AFC Mansfield's ground?
No,
I've not been, but I saw him in pre-season against Handsworth. But I've not been to the ground.
The ground, it's a strange ground. Is it
like an athletics track?
No, it's a velodrome. It's the longest velodrome I've ever seen. So for the uninitiated, a velodrome is a cycle track, and it's got like a lot of pitch at the side of it as well. Do you know what I mean? Where the pitch goes on. It's just got stands down one side. It's a nice ground. It's an unusual ground. Forest Town Arena. So that's that one. At Shepshed, Dynamo play Winterton. Now you might think, well, what's super special about that? Well, Winterton 2 seasons ago played Shepshed in the same round. So that's a good one for Winterton. They're away though. Liversedge, they used to be in our league. They play Silsden, so that'll be a very good game for both teams. Penistone, they've got Charnock Richard. Now, Charnock Richard from just outside of Chorley. They're always a good team. They always seem to have a decent run. Penistone should give them a good game. And on Sunday, a historic day for Beverley Town and David Cardo's men. They play Whitley Bay at the Norwood. So that should be a good game. So if anybody's at a loose end on Sunday, get themselves down to the Norwood.
It was in the non-league paper. There was a piece about Beverley, non-league paper weekend. It's 99 years since Beverley last played in the FA Cup.
Wow.
99. It was 1919. If you take out the war years, but it's 99 years, it says. So I would expect, it wouldn't surprise me if they got a 4-figure crowding on
well, I'm hoping they do, because we play them the following Saturday at Barton, so that'll be a humdinger of a game. There's so much history between the clubs in relation to players and management and so on and so forth. That's something I'll talk about next week. So Barton Town, they've got Newark Town at home, a team I've not seen. Has anybody seen Newark Town play?
No, I haven't.
I saw them last season, but I've not seen them this season.
What was it like, Adam? All right?
To be fair, they looked pretty good. It was a good game. They played Retford United in Notts Cup and they beat them 5-3. So,
good. Well, I hope we're up to it. I hope we play like we did on Saturday, and then we'll give them a good game because we played very well. So
I think think they got promoted from Division 1 last year, so they'll be coming up into Prem with their first year in.
All right.
So
yeah,
interesting how they do.
Let's hope they concentrate on the league.
Yeah.
I don't think we mentioned Penrith and Pickering. That'll be
no, Bob. You do what you always do. You beat me to it. I've got that at the top of my list. So, hey, Bob, great minds think alike, or fools seldom differ.
I couldn't possibly comment.
I know you couldn't. Yeah. So, Bob, that's Pickering Town. Have got a long journey to Penrith, haven't they?
Yeah, but after winning last week at Frickley, I mean 4-2, the confidence will be up, and but it is a long journey. I have to say,
they'll be buoyant. Yeah. What the Pickering Town? They might.
It's a great journey if you win on the way back.
Oh, absolutely. It's a long journey if you lose. I know all about them long journeys. It's nothing to do with Barton Town. It's my other local FC. So, so that's we've just picked a few FA Cup games out, and I want to go on to Stye because you've got a home game, haven't you, Stye? Again, is it Durnan District?
It is, yeah. Another new one to the league. So apparently quite a well-supported club as well. So can I see how many they bring to our place on Saturday? And hopefully from our point, we can get our season started with 3 points. But they've taken 4 points from their first 2 games as well.
Yeah. But you was at a slight disadvantage, weren't you? Because you didn't play this week, did you? It was had to be cancelled.
Yeah, the Tuesday one was cancelled. So maybe we're doing a bit of a park gate, letting everyone else get a bit of a head start. Seemed to work for them last season, didn't it?
Yeah,
that's the line I'm going with.
Right. So,
have you seen, guys? Sorry to interrupt, but their Dern manager, he's left the club, hasn't he? The Dern
only
manager.
Yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see how they come out, perform. I would imagine, you know. So I don't know what the reason behind that, but I understand he's left.
You do get this at this level.
Unbeaten start as well.
Yeah. So I think it's the first one this year, first one this season, you know. So it's.
So we'll have to see. So hopefully you'll get off to a home winning start, Si. Let's hope. Do you think? Just a side point here. Do you think that teams come to your ground and sort of
100%
play that a little bit better? Do you know what 100%. I mean? Yeah, absolutely. I thought they would. Yeah.
Because we saw that last season. If you look at the teams that we struggled against last season, the ones that beat us, ended up being the teams that were probably finishing in the lower half of the table. They were the points that everyone sort of says cost us. Because the teams that came for that just upped their game that extra notch when we were already playing at sort of our level. So and they raised their game, so it's just hard then sometimes for us to pick that up. And yeah, I mean the fact that when we were talking last week, some people have sort of said Wakefield, you know, for promotion or for the title. Adam said it himself on his video.
Yeah,
puts that little bit of target on and that little bit of extra pressure.
It does, doesn't it?
Be it either for the teams off coming to play us that want to take it, take us down a peg, or so, there always seems to be a bit of a rivalry with it, and certainly for our players, they've got to then step up and match that, which can't always be easy because it's a difficult path to follow to know how to kind of get that pitch right for where we want to be, because obviously with the club has ambitions, but they don't want to come across too confident with it, and sometimes maybe that's come across that way and people think that we've kind of got that attitude, and a lot of, and maybe one or two of our fans do and say that, and then people kind of jump on that, whereas a lot of our fans are very humble, and they know they've got used to non-league now, and they know that there's no teams that you can just turn up and walk over, and everyone can beat them on the day. If you want to win the match, you've got to turn up 100%. You can't play at what I said on Saturday was, I think sometimes we played second, third gear football.
That's it for this edition. If you've got any news for the podcast or you'd like to appear on the podcast, please email ncelpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.